Hey, what's up, Chef Jesse here again in the kitchen. Listen, I'm gonna season I have a pork shoulder. Now I'm making some Cuban sandwiches, so I'm not gonna make a big giant pork shoulder. I just want a piece of pork. And I'm gonna be using pork shoulder, of course, but I'm gonna be using a small one, which I bought in the supermarket. It cost me, it was like about $8. It's about let me see, it's about I can never read these things. It's about 4 pounds. 4 pounds, and this is what it looks like, okay? And this is the pork shoulder, and I guess the other piece of the leg is here, and this is pork shoulder, half of a pork shoulder, and you got a lot of fat. What I was looking for was a lot of fat. I like a lot of fat in the pork shoulder because I like to cook it up real nice and crispy. So this is half of a pork shoulder, and let's open this up and wash it up, okay? Okay, so pork shoulders are big. I mean, this is a small one, but again, most pork shoulders when you buy it are big, especially not in the holidays when you buy pork shoulders are very large, and you have to like season it, you know, a day before or more, and you have to wash it up. You have to wash it good. So what I'm gonna wash it, I'm gonna be using I'm gonna wash it some warm water, and I like to wash it with some lemon or lime just to get all that, you know, that flavor out of it. So what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be using, I got some freshly squeezed lemon juice, and I'm just going to pour this over here. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to wash my pork in there, and I'm gonna, let me show you what I'm doing here, because you can't see. Okay, can you see that? Okay, so what? I got a nice, I like to cut the, some people cut it off. I like to just get underneath there and lift up the, lift off the skin. Okay, the cuerito is what they call it. It's called cuerito. And I like to, it's kind of, you know, you just use a sharp knife. I just don't, it's just sometimes gets tricky, but I like to cut underneath there if I could as much as possible. You know, watch your fingers. This is the worst, you know, you don't want to get cut. So what I'm doing, I'm cutting underneath the skin so that the flavoring can go in there, because when you season this, the flavor is not going to get into the meat. Okay, so you got to sort of create an opening there, a gap between the skin. Okay, once you get it started, actually, you can continue cutting deep in, and you can actually get this hole, get to the back of this. Just be careful. Actually, what I should be doing is, I should take it out of there and put it on the cutting board. There you go. See? Stupid me. Okay, so there you go. So when you see the tip of the blade there, you know you're cutting it. Okay, and some people, like I seen some ingredients, some recipes that say cut it off and flap it around up and then put it back. I don't know. I don't think I want to do that. I want to leave it somewhere attached, and I just want to cut this underneath here. Okay, so you know, I'm more or less in there. I'm in there, and I can get to the top of the meat here. Okay, and like I said, I like to season this a day before or 2 days before if you have time. The more, the merrier. But I would never buy this and put it in the oven the same day. I mean, unless you don't know what taste, unless you don't have taste buds. Okay, so kind of, some people cut lines in this. I don't like doing that because it stretches out and it burns, and I think it loses some of the fat. But again, you prepare your, you prepare your roast pork the way you see fit. Don't follow me. I'm just suggesting this, okay? And I'm not, okay? So whatever you know how to do it and the way you do it, by all means, please continue doing it. So I'm gonna stab some holes in here. Okay, I got one in there and deep inside. And I'm gonna go in there as far as I can go. Because remember, you got a big piece of bone here. Get that bone in there, and you have to get the flavors in there, okay? And you gotta get the flavors in there. So I poke a bunch of holes wherever. Oh, that was a good one. So poke it all the way around, and you can finger it, the meat. Okay, there you go. And I continue doing these slices in here and put it in there. And I like to, oh, there you go. So you deep in, deep in, deep in. Okay, just open it up in there. Oh, that's a good opening there. Then you get the top here. Okay. That slice, get a nice knife that slices, that goes right through. Look at that. Oh man, look at that. Okay. So after you get that done there, as many angles as you can, now I'm going to start seasoning this, okay? Okay, folks, so I got my roast pork here. I stabbed it as much as possible. Not that you can stab it up more, but anyway, I'm going to start to season this. What I did here, let me show you. I put gloves on because this is very powerful on your hands and stuff, and I don't want any, you know. So I just made a mix, and in this mix I got olive oil. I got about half a cup of olive oil. I got some vinaigrette in there, and in here I put a tablespoon of each. I put pepper, salt, garlic powder, onion powder. I put what else did I put in there? I put some parsley. I put some oregano. Okay, and okay, so I mix that all up, and I'm gonna be using one of these sazon, the one with the chote, because this one gives it color. So I like using this because it gives it a color. You gotta have some color in the meat, you know. So I use an envelope of that. I might use another one, but we'll see what happens. Okay, we'll see if I need another one. We'll check it out. So again, all this mixes together, and I have some fresh garlic here. I'm gonna put it in here. Let me just put that there so I can show you. I'm gonna put about half a tablespoon of fresh garlic, crushed garlic. I put it in here. Push this garlic in the my chopper. I got a chopper there, so we got all these flavors putting together. Don't be scared to over flavor, because this is a pretty big piece of meat that has to really receive flavor. So what I like to do is I like to first start putting this in the holes here, and of course you got to get these gloves to fit. Okay. So what I do, okay, let's start putting this. Put this in there, and I start poking it. Okay, and we can put it in there. Put that in there. I smear some of this in here. I go in here, and I put the flavor in there, and I stuck my finger in there. Okay, and you can use one of those food injectors too. If you have one of those injectors that they inject the meat. I don't know how that works, but there you go. So find the holes that you may. Oh, there goes a nice big hole in there. Okay, so push that in there. There you go. See that? You see that? Yeah. So put that in there. Put that flavoring in there. Okay. And then on the top, put the flavoring on the top, especially underneath the skin here. Okay, you gotta get that flavor in there. Okay. And in that hole, wash some of that meat in there. I think I stabbed it around here somewhere. Wherever you can find it, you can jam your finger in. Jam it in there, okay? There goes one finger here. Oh yeah, there you go. That's a big one. Oh yeah, you see. Then we pour in there. There you go. And pour it in there. Pour it in here. And stick your fingers wherever you want. Except me. Okay, so just pour this up in here, and then you get sloppy with the meat. Yeah, caress the meat, make love to it. There you go. Rub it in there. And remember, don't worry about too much salt. This is a big piece of meat. It's gonna take. So this looks like it's enough. Like that. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Let me wash my finger there because I gotta. So, okay, so this is all done. Now I'm going to put it into this pot here, because I'm gonna put this in the fridge, and I want all these juices. Okay, all these juices on top of it. Yeah, look at that, folks. Okay, so Okay, put that in there. Okay, and this is gonna stay in my fridge until tomorrow. And tomorrow I'm gonna cook this piece of meat for at least 4 hours. Okay, it's not that big, so I'm gonna cook it about 4 hours, and you're gonna be with me when I cook it. Get these gloves off, clean the mess in the kitchen. I'm always cleaning everything here. I like to be on top of the things. So folks, there you got it. I mean, if you know how to season your meat, by all means, please season it the way you were taught or the way you learned. But this is the way I season mine, and give or take. Sometimes I do different things, but this is basically the way I cook it, and it always cooks nice and tender and flavorful. So here we go, once again, and we're gonna put this in the oven. Not in the oven, not today. We're gonna put this in my fridge, and it's gonna marinate, and it's gonna continue to marinate overnight, and then tomorrow about, I don't know, 5 o'clock or so. No, not even. Earlier than that. 5 hours before 7 o'clock. Whatever that is, 4 to 5 hours, I'm going to cook this. Then I'm going to slice it up or tear it apart, whatever way it comes out. And then I'm going to be making Cuban sandwiches. And for those who don't know what Cuban sandwiches are, basically it's roast pork, Swiss cheese, ham, and mustard, and pickle. And it's put into a nice French bread or Italian bread, and it's compressed on a press and made into sandwiches. And I'm going to be, so it's Cuban sandwiches tomorrow. So anyway, join me tomorrow when I start to cook this and I start to show you how to make a Cuban sandwich. So once again, there goes the star of the show, the roast pork. And in case you don't know how to season it, or you've never tried seasoning a roast pork, this is the way that this is the way you can do it, and you can follow my instructions. You can see my videos on YouTube, and you can follow me on YouTube, and give me likes on Facebook. And I love you guys, and I see you guys tomorrow with the roast pork sandwiches, the Cuban sandwiches. Love you guys. Have a great night. Enjoy your Friday night. This is Chef Jesse. Hey.